Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Catholic Monarchist podcast. Last go around, I made quite a few friends because, if some of you may recall, I criticized Trump and his campaign pretty harshly, which seemed to trigger quite a few people. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to double down on this sentiment because I stand by what I said. Unlike many of the commenters, I refuse to be a brainwashed follower of a politician or a political party, blindly following them to the bitter end regardless of how corrupt they are or how much they've changed since their better days. People have turned politics into sports. They choose a team and then stick with them even if they make terrible decisions and have no interest in winning. So-and-so Republican candidate said this and did that thing that I don't agree with at all. And this keeps happening across the board. Not to worry. That's still my team. Why are they your team? They're certainly not my team based on policy or attitude anymore. Loyalty is admirable. But when your party ditches you, then where's the connection anymore? It's not admirable to stick with a political party when they've thrown their base to the wayside to attract people from the opponent's side and then abandoned all the issues and policies that you could both identify with and agree on. The Republican strategy at this point is to win over independents and Democrats with leftist talking points and policies, rather than with right-wing ones. And if you can't see how that's the problem, I don't know what else to tell you. I used to believe that it was just liberals and Democrats that were the sheep. Because, on average, they do very little to no research, and they follow their emotions, falling for every used car salesman politician that comes their way as long as the letter D is next to their name. But, and they're following whatever the mainstream tells them to believe and pretty much lacking any critical thinking skills. Then, the past couple of years have woken me up to the fact that the Republicans are like this as well, just in a different way. Republicans and conservatives have better personal views and principles than liberals do, by far. They also do tend to do their research better, and they generally come out more well-informed, and they can explain their positions better. But for whatever reason, they still latch onto Trump and the GOP like their saviors. And anyone who criticizes them is a traitor or an idiot. I'm genuinely baffled at how much leniency people are willing to give these career politicians year in and year out for doing a lousy job, either by accident or on purpose. I said that Trump's campaign is a disaster, and I stand by that. He is running on a pro-choice platform, which is morally abhorrent. And if you want to talk strategically, he is pushing away the pro-life portion of his base. And, simultaneously, the Democrats are feeding their people with the lie that Trump wants to totally ban abortion nationwide. So he's not even really getting any of those people either, with his liberalized view of abortions. His lukewarm position on abortion is not bringing Democrats over to his side. Which begs the question, what effect will it have on independents? That's really the battleground there. And unfortunately, if you look at the data, the majority would, if they had to choose, the majority would choose to go with unrestricted abortions over a total abortion ban. And this is a trend that happened because, besides other like prominent figures in media and entertainment, whatever, besides that. But it is because Democrats pushed for abortion and Republicans caved on it and, in a way, legitimized it. Trump is also practically for unlimited immigration. I mean, isn't our economy strained enough as it is? Why bring in people who will either take jobs away from Native Americans or just be welfare collectors? And not to mention the impact that will continue to make to what used to be some semblance of a Christian culture by bringing in people from other religions or non-religions. And it also doesn't help our violent crime rates. Take a look someday at who's disproportionately contributing to that. Then what else? Trump was also at some kind of pro-Israel get-together thing, whatever it was, and he said that if you're not for Israel, then you're not welcome here. You Americans, you're not welcome here if you don't support Israel. Then he proceeds to lament how the Israel lobby is not as powerful as it once was. I mean, remember when he used to say he doesn't take money from lobbyists and special interests? And he made fun of the other candidates who were all doing that. I mean, that was fun. Talk about a sellout. He went from mocking the others about it to giving a sob story about how a certain lobby doesn't have as much sway as it used to. I mean, he's Jeb Bush at this point. Anyway, back to this main point. Trump and the GOP keep shifting their base further and further to the left, to the point where there's no going back. So now, in order for them to win most elections, they have to be more liberal than liberals were 15 years ago. Where are we going to be 15 years from now at the same trajectory? It's something to think about. And let me close with this. I can't stand Democrats. I can't stand liberals. They deeply lack intelligence and critical thinking. They have horrible values and morals, and are generally just unpleasant people. They are a godless group who want nothing more than the destruction of Christian values and the Western world that was built by the Catholic kingdoms of the past. They hate all that is good and wholesome in the world and want the rest of us to be as selfish and miserable as they are. They take pleasure in murdering babies and want everyone else to do so as well. Are you getting it yet? Just because I'm highly critical of Republicans and conservatives doesn't mean I'm a Democrat. I said something I didn't like about Trump. Oops. You got me. I'm secretly a Kamala supporter. Even though my overall beliefs and ideas are essentially diametrically opposed to hers. Perfect match. If I criticize the Yankees over personnel decisions or game strategies, I must be a Red Sox fan. Seriously, are some people really not able to grasp this concept? Obviously, I'm not talking to everyone. Many of you are awesome, and I'm honored that you view my videos and subscribe to my channel. I'm not demanding everything to be perfect. That's not possible here, even in a Catholic monarchy. But can we at least do better than two liberal parties as our only main options? Can we try sticking to our principles for once and try to educate the populace on why they're right, instead of conceding and telling people pretty much that these stances are actually wrong by abandoning them and adopting the left's ideas? Look at how far abortion and sodomy have gone, with conservatives following this strategy of immediate satisfaction. trying to win the current election without regard for what happens after. I would say this middle stance on abortion from Republicans could be a sound strategy if there was any sign that it was helping things head in the right direction. Back to this political spectrum. In the middle here, we've been moving this way and this way. Now in 2024, we've moved this way again. So now, after this, Republicans can only win, your average whatever election on these policies. And it just gets worse and worse. So, what are we even fighting for at this point? The public is shifting further in favor of abortion, according to Gallup. In 2019, 21% of people were for a complete abortion ban. That's down to 12% today. 25% in 2019 were in favor of unrestricted abortion. That number is now 35%. If Republicans keep folding on this issue, then there will be a point when they can't get elected unless they support unrestricted abortions. All right. I've gone on long enough, and that's all I've got for you today. Next video, believe it or not, I will talk about an issue that the right has done well on, and we're actually winning. So that'll be fun. So you all have a great rest of your day. God bless. See you next time.